Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Bishop John Hanson of Quinebaug.
Hi, this is Bishop Hanson. I oversee Acts 2 Ministries in Thompson, Connecticut. You can find us at www.actsii.org. This week, I'm encouraging believers to pursue authentic Christianity. Today, I have a great tip for you. To open, I'll read some great advice from Hebrews 10:23 through 25 in the Living Translation. Let us hold tightly, without wavering, to the hope we affirm, for God can be trusted to keep His promise. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of His return is drawing near. Several years ago, I sat in the reception area of a chiropractor's office in Worcester, Massachusetts, listening intently to a spectacular story. A half a dozen of us had gathered for a time of prayer and sharing. Several were wiping tears from their eyes as they heard the tale of sovereign love that transformed a life marred by alcoholism, divorce, and despair into an abundant life distinguished by love, joy, and peace. This particular speaker had experienced such drastic improvement in his situation that he now helps others as a minister and a chaplain. We concluded the meeting with a time of prayer and thanksgiving. Our little group was savoring a good, true story, the kind you would like to see happen more frequently. Stories of trouble are prevalent. It doesn't take much living to be convinced that life is tough. No one escapes the challenges and tragedies dealt by daily living. Some seem to have more than their share of troubles. The load is overwhelming at times. Many of us have found ourselves in predicaments we never imagined we'd have to face. Bad luck, bad decisions, bad advice, bad timing, or all of the above can collapse a person's world and ravage their life. Just one choice, one impulsive action, or one accident can suddenly make life seem unlivable. Feelings of helplessness and hopelessness often inspire bouts of discouragement, pessimism, and depression. It's a common tale for a twist of fate, a bad relationship, or an unfortunate event to steal a person's joy and leave them convinced life is not worth living. Woody Allen said, "Life is divided between the horrible and the miserable." If we don't make an effort to look beyond our troubles and the headlines of wars, political battles, and school shootings, we can easily slip into that cynical mindset. It might seem safer to think the world a terrible place and be proved wrong than to believe the world a wonderful place and be disappointed. But I found a therapeutic solution to my cynicism. I make a weekly trek to a room full of miracles, authentic people who have discovered authentic Christianity. Every Sunday morning, I have the privilege of joining together in worship with a group of people who have outlived the challenges of life by the grace of God. A glance around the room reveals people who worship and sing from some place deep in their hearts. My mind can recall where these people have come from, what they've been through, and what they're currently encountering on their journey. Seated in the pews are blended families, single parents, former drug addicts, former alcoholics, and people who have beat cancer. There are others who have survived abuse, the occult, mental breakdowns, and even jail. But these people have not only survived, they've found new beginnings, new meaning, and more joy than they had before their struggles. In fact, it was often trouble and tragedy that prompted them to call out to God for intervention. Now, they are a room full of miracles. As I reflect back on the hundreds of physical healings, supernatural provisions, emotional restorations, and family reconciliations that have taken place in their lives, my perspective of life suddenly improves. It becomes clear to me again that life's challenges are often opportunities for a God encounter. that will introduce a person to true life. In a room full of miracles, it's easier to comprehend that life is tough, but that God is bigger than life. How freeing it is to interact with people whose lives have been changed, people who believe Jeremiah 29:11, which reads like this in the NIV, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Why don't you find a room full of miracles this Sunday? A little worship might change the way you see the entire world. I think you'll find it therapeutic.
You've been listening to Bishop John Hanson of Quinebaug, and this has been Bread of Life, a daily devotional program to encourage you from God's Word.